Hey there, welcome to a new video. Today we are talking about a new plugin by IFEA, his new Spectral Compressor, which he just released a few days ago. And in today's video, I want to show you how you can use it on different examples and to get the maximum out of it. Also, thanks to IFEA for sending me this plugin to review, and he also gave me a discount code. If anyone is interested to get this plugin, it's BassTi 10 and you can use it at the checkout. And before we get into the examples, at the end of the video, I will show you a cool little gimmick about this plugin. So let's get right into it. The first example is a growl bass, and you want growl basses to be really massive and also have lots of artifacts. And without any spectral compression, it would sound like this. So it's already a nice foundation, but when we now enable the spectral compression, it would sound like this. So as you can hear, it's way more massive, fat, and has way more artifacts. So this spectral compressor completely beefs the shit out of it, if you know what I mean. Let me quickly break down all the knobs in the context of this plugin. Of course, we have the attack and the release knob, also gain knob, ratio, but then we have a knee knob, which works similar to a knee of a clipper, for example, like a soft clipper. Then we have a tilt, which determines whether you want more low end in your signal or more high end. So you can say if you want the low end to be more in the focus or the high end, which is really cool. So you can get completely different results by turning the tilt down or up, and the sound will drastically change. So watch this really quick. Way more high end. And here less high end, but more low end pronounced. The most cool thing about this are the upwards and the downwards compression sliders. So usually when you open the plugin, the upwards slider is down, the downwards slider is up here, and then you want to find the right spot for them. So in this case, I would like to move this one down and move the upwards compression slider up to get the sweet spot around here. And of course, you can increase the upwards compression even more, but then it would be a little bit too much. So it's already pretty maximized in this setting. And because this is a spectral compressor, you can also change the quality. There's a low latency mode for 512 bands, then the standard mode or normal, which has 1024 bands, and the high quality mode with 2048 bands. And it also leads to different results. This is the low latency mode, then the high quality mode, and the normal mode. So you can clearly hear some differences, right? Especially from the low latency compared to the high quality. Which can also be useful. So you can also use the low latency mode, which obviously has less quality, in a creative way. Maybe in your chains, for example. We are just getting started, so let's jump over to another example. I prepared some vocals here. These are some vocals by Riot, Death Comes For Us All. Maybe you know the song, really cool song. And without any compression, it sounds like this. It's already pretty processed.
Death comes for us all, but we don't care about it. Speaking from the heart and building walls around it.
Now when we enable the compression, you will notice the difference.
Death comes for us all, but we don't care about it.
You can hear that it's way more compressed, which can also be cool in some use cases. If you want to do some vocal chops and heavily process them, this is the tool for you.
Death comes for us all,
and in this case, I've also set up the downwards and the upwards compression like this and played around with the tilt gain ratio. And for vocals, you don't necessarily have to touch the attack and the release knob right here. And I forgot to mention the try and wet slider.
Death comes for us all, but we don't care about it.
And before I forget it, we also have to give props to this awesome design. Look at this.
Death comes for us all,
really cool and unique design. Now let's have a look at some chords. These are some chords I made in Serum, which would sound like this. You can already hear some clipping and some distortion, and it just sounds not polished enough. But now when we enable the spectral compressor, you will notice a huge difference. So you can get a much tighter result by using spectral compression on these chords right here. And without, as I mentioned before, it just does not sound finished. And when we increase the ratio, you will notice that the result is getting closer to the profile of pink noise. It can also sound cool in a way, but of course you don't have to over-exaggerate it. Ah yeah, this already sounds fine. And then we move the tilt knob again. More high end, then we have to watch out with the gain here. And more low end focused. Now let's have a look at some more advanced sound design. This is a sound design session I just worked on today. And I've also used a different plugin by iFeature Fusion, which you might already know. I've made a review video about it, and it's one of the sickest tools I've ever seen. I've used it in the process of making the sound in a different project, and I just exported it. And it usually sounds like this. It already sounds pretty cool, but it does not sound fat enough or tight enough. And here we can use Spectral Compressor again, which now sounds like this. The artifacts are much more pronounced now, and it sounds tighter and just more polished. Without and with. And before I forget, I also wanted to mention that iFeature gave me a little discount code, BassTi10, if you want to get this cool plugin, and you can just use the code at the checkout and you will save some money. This is another example. The sound originally sounded like this. So, not polished at all, but with the Spectral Compressor, completely different world. Oh my god, it's even better when we crank up the tilt even more. Pretty sick if you ask me. This sound was also part of a sound design session and it sounded like this. And yeah, with a Spectral Compressor, way more aggressive, way more high-end, way tighter and yeah, just fatter. What you would use a Spectral Compressor for. Fattening up sounds, making them tighter, making them fit your contexts. We don't want the noise here. It was from the sample creation process. It really works great on these kind of sounds as well. And last but not least, we have this sound right here, on which I've used Spectral Compressor in a more gentle way. And usually it sounded like this. And now with Spectral Compressor, we get the last bit out of it. So it becomes way more punchy, more into the face hitting character. Also, of course, we get more high-end and just a tighter feel, and it's just fatter. And these were all the examples I wanted to show you in this video. Don't forget to check it out on iFeature's new website, ifeature.world. And if you're interested in getting this plugin, don't forget to use the discount code BassTi10 at checkout. But now, let's come to the cool gimmick about this plugin. If you are getting bored while producing, and if everything is overwhelming you, you can play a game inside of Spectral Compressor, and you can activate it by using a certain shortcut. It's Command, Shift, and T. Of course, you have to tap in the plugin, and then you can play Tetris inside of Spectral Compressor. It's really cool that he implemented this inside the game. And it's similar to phaseplant because they did something similar in their plugin with the Space Invaders game. So that's definitely a nice gimmick about this plugin. And that's at the end of the video. Let me know what you think about iFeature's new Spectral Compressor in the comments. Thanks again for letting me review this plugin, and don't forget to check it out on ifeature.world and use the discount code BassTi10. So, see you in the next video, have a great day, and goodbye!